So in my last video, I talked about wanting to practice shooting at longer distances with my AR-15. And that time I went to the range, all I had access to was the 100-yard line. But this time I got lucky and I was able to shoot at the 200, 220-ish yard line instead. And learned a lot is a nice way to say it. But I was really glad I was able to go. So I wanted to show you guys and bring you along with kind of my progress practicing at shooting at longer distances. So I'm still sticking with my M4A1 clone, which has a 14.5-inch barrel and maybe about 8,000-ish rounds through it or so. Most of that, again, has been shot within like 50 yards or so. So this is still kind of a new skill to me. And I'm still using the 55 grain 5.56 NATO PPU ammo. So in my last video, I focused on trigger control and then also breathing properly in between shots. And so I still definitely focused on that this time, but now I also need to watch out for my holds. The ACOG is supposed to be zeroed at 100 yards, which I've done, but I was shooting at about 200, 220. I kind of struggled with that a little bit in this video, and finally, started to get it right towards the end. My groups got a little better, but that was definitely the biggest challenge for this range session. But nonetheless, learned a lot, and so I will throw in the footage and then leave the commentary for the end. So as you can see, I kind of struggled a bit this range session with trying to get my shots on target consistently. In the beginning, they were a little more all over the place, and even though I was mostly all in the A zone, I kind of wish I had performed a little better. But towards the end, I started to get more shots on target in that red circle, so that made me happy. So I'll take what luck I can get. Definitely the biggest thing I struggled with was trying to aim at the 200-yard line. So the way the ACOG reticle is designed, the tip of the chevron is for 100 yards, and then if you cut the chevron in half, that's supposed to be your 200-yard hold. At least that's my understanding. And I had a hell of a time trying to make that work, and I think I may have spent too much time in my head trying to always get that perfect sight alignment at 200 yards. I don't have enough practice with the reticle yet, and the difference like in physical space between the 100 and 200 yard hold seems so small to me that it's just damn hard to make it work. But hey, gotta practice, gotta put in the work, and so it'll all get figured out in the end. Another thing too is even though it's a 4x magnification, I found it a little hard to see the target and shoot exactly where I wanted to. The IPSC target itself was fine, but the actual red dot that I ended up putting onto my targets at the end, I was struggling to see that from 200 yards away. And I was trying to, on top of that, hold either for the top of the circle, for the middle of the circle, to see where my shots would land. And that's, I think, what also contributed me to getting groups all over the place throughout the A zone, instead of being much more consistent. But fortunately, at the end, as you saw, I started to get about, 2 shots in the red in the target. And so the way I did that was I just adjusted my elevation again. I kind of ditched trying to always shoot at the 100 yard zero, and I just moved up 2 clicks. And I think ultimately that ended up helping a lot. And so I think rather than just holding, I ended up at the end trying to dial in. Even if the BDC would have been off at longer ranges, that kind of didn't apply to me this time because I was always shooting at a fixed distance. And so yeah, it kind of worked for me at the end. So maybe I should try that a little more. So in all, definitely learned a lot this time. I definitely have to get out and practice more. It was still fun too. The range was actually pretty quiet that day because I went on a weekday. It was hot as hell here. It was like 110 degrees. But it was a really good time. And so looking forward to going again next time and just continue practicing. So thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.